I live in the tub, like in the cold tub. I live in there. Peppermint, lavender. I do wear cologne during the game.
Yes.
And it varies.
Let's talk about another scent. This is probably the one that surprised us the most that you really love.
Why is that?
That's a deep cut.
It's hard for men to speak. Not even about their feelings. Anything that goes on in life, you know, it is okay to not be okay. Hitting a career high comes with two things.
There's the 10,000th rebound for Drummond.
One, you get that instant high of joy and excitement, and then you get that hunger of wanting to do it again.
Hi, I am Brittney Jackson Moseley. I'm the Director of Integrated Marketing at Scentbird. And today I am joined by a really special guest, a two-time NBA All-Star, a scent connoisseur, the top rebounder in the league, perhaps of all time. Ever, period. The philanthropist and community leader and mental health advocate, Andre Drummond.
Hey.
Hi, Andre.
Where's a round of applause? We have more people in here.
Yeah.
Somebody clap, do something. Yeah, there we go. We're not alone. Trust me.
Yes, we're not alone. So I'm really excited to talk today about how scent fits into your everyday life, on and off the court, the self-care routines that help you feel and perform your best, and some of your favorite scents, some of which I think would actually surprise people. So how does that sound?
I'm excited.
What was your scent routine today as you got ready to come over here to Miami?
My scent routine today. So I have a mixture of Chris Collins on right now.
Ooh.
And some Baccarat.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mix my scents. I don't have one scent on it all the time. I smell good too.
You do smell good.
I know.
As you walked by, not only did I had to look up, but I was like caught with a whiff of a signature scent that I couldn't put my finger on. And it's because you layer scents. Do you layer scents often?
Yeah, I don't ever wear one scent. I always have at least 2 to 3 on.
I love it. And we're going to talk about a scent that you designed today.
Yes.
But first, let's dive into some of your favorite scents. So for those of you who don't know already, Andre has curated a scent collection for Scentbird with some of his favorite scents that are a part of the platform. So we're going to smell through those today. Okay, so first, what made you choose the 5 that are in your collection?
Those are my go-tos. Those are like my everyday scents. And that's why I picked it for Scentbird, because Scentbird is something that you want to take on the go and something that you want to wear on a daily, not for occasions.
Yes. So the first one we're going to smell through is Irresistible by Furla. This fragrance has lily of the valley, camellia, tuberose. It's got a lot of floralcy. We were actually surprised at, like, we could tell that you are a true fragrance connoisseur because they weren't just the like, oh, this is a cologne.
Right.
Oh, this is a perfume. Oh, this is really masculine. You really love scent. And we could tell through this first pick. Yeah. He's not playing around.
No, I really do this, guys. You should see my closet of cologne. It's gross.
So I'm going to spray Irresistible.
The name explains itself.
It's irresistible, y'all.
Yeah, this is clean.
It's
a clean scent. And this is something I'll wear, like, if I'm going to like the beach or if I'm going to like an outdoor event. You know, this is like that sweet outdoor, like fresh scent. What do you think?
It's got a little spiciness in it
does.
too.
What do you think?
It's that I think it's like the lily
and it sits
of the
well on
valley.
my skin too. It's like I don't pick scents due to its smell. I do what it does for my skin, how people react to it. So if I spray something like, oh, you smell good, I'm keeping that.
This is how you know he's a scent connoisseur. When you think of your first memories of fragrance and when you fell in love with it, what comes to mind?
Axe.
Axe?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Axe was the first time I fell in love with like scent, because as a kid, you know, we don't wear cologne at 11, 12, 13, maybe even 14, some kids. But for me, I started going into the 6th grade when I started spraying Axe, because I felt like that's when I first started developing like body odor.
Yeah.
So that's when I had to start wearing deodorant. I had a lot of hair in my body at the time too. So I remember Axe was the first thing that I got. My mom would get me. And I'm like, damn, this smells good. Some of them were pretty bad. Some of them were really good. And I was like, all right, I know what I don't like and I know what I do like. So then after that, I kind of started branching out to different things. There was Bod.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember Bod.
Bod,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Bod was the next one that I went after.
I want your bod. Bod men's fragrance.
Then after that, it went to the Ralph Lauren's. And then after that, it skyrocketed from there.
It just went on from there.
I became like a fiend for scents.
Wow.
Then it became the candles, and it became the car fresheners, and this whole domino effect.
Your whole domino effect.
It started early.
It all started early, and it started with Axe.
It did. So when we go to the store, I'll go through the aisles, and I would spray. The whole aisle would smell like everything, because I would just spray different things to see what I like. And I'm like, all right, Mom, I like this one.
Right.
You grab this one. So it was real early when I started with the fragrance. 'Cause my mom was the same way too, believe it or not.
I was going to ask you.
I got it from her, honestly. I would go in her room as a kid, and I would see her dresser just be a pile of different perfumes. The way my closet looks now looks identical to hers now. It's identical. We both probably have the same amount of perfumes and cologne.
I love that. And I know you've mentioned in interviews before that your mom is one of your greatest supporters.
Of course. My mom introduced me to everything, honestly. Everything that has to do with just like being a man, because I didn't really have my father around that much. So my mom did the best that she could to teach me these things that a man should be doing at a young age. And always smelling good was something that she would always instill in me, because, you know, if you smell good, you're going to attract people, whether it's friends or a girl that you like. So she has always been my biggest supporter growing up, whether it's basketball, whether it's anything that I liked. She would be the person who's front and center. And you can't, and it's hard to find. It's hard to find. So I always commend my mom anytime I get for all of my success.
Let's give it up to the mom.
Come on now. Shout out to Christine Cameron. Look at you.
Yes. So you mentioned Chris Collins is one of the fragrance brands that you're wearing today. So I wanted to smell through African Rooibos, which is one of the fragrances that is part of your collection. You have Rooibos tea in there, a little black pepper, cardamom.
This is more of a stronger oud scent to it.
Chris Collins is awesome. Awesome fragrance line. Black owned.
I reached out to him too and told him that I love this brand.
You did? I told him you picked him for the collection here.
Yeah, this is good.
Describe the scent you're smelling.
It's more of a stronger woody scent. You know, something you'll wear out. Like if you're going to dinner.
Yeah.
Like not just any dinner, like a real nice establishment.
Something elevated, not just your regular. It could be an everyday occurrence.
Yeah, and the best thing about it too, it's not just something you have to wear for one occasion. You can wear this daily if you want. If you mix it with more of a sweeter scent too, it gives you that stronger scent where you smell me. Where I leave the room, you still smell me. So
could you describe some scents that you would wear during the games?
It's funny you say that, 'cause I do wear cologne during the game.
Yes.
And it varies. It really depends. That's where I kind of try my scents. Fun fact. So where I try like different colognes is usually during the game, 'cause I don't care what the next guy thinks about me. I'm wearing it for me, not to impress people I'm playing against. So during the games is when I'll try different colognes, and I usually get pretty good responses. What is the funniest response you've gotten like during the game or in the locker room from a scent you're wearing? I won't say the person or the team, but I remember I was coming out for layup lines, and I walked past and I'm dapping a guy up, and you know we pull away. And he's like, yo, bro, I'm not going to lie, no funny stuff, but what the hell do you have on right now? So I was like, okay. I was always just, part of my collection. It's actually a Scentbird that I had. I forgot which one specifically I wore. And I started telling more people about Scentbird. So he's like, yo, I got to go check it out. So come to find out, he sent me a screenshot of him signing up for it. You know, signed his wife up for it too. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. All right. So the next scent we're going to smell is from Parfums de Marly. And originally in your collection, you had two scents that were from this brand. You had Leighton and Delina. I will tell you on Scentbird, this brand goes crazy too. So we're going to smell Leighton. Yeah, I do remember this. Yeah. Yeah. I mixed this with YSL. This is a good scent too. This is a very clean, sweet scent too, more of a fun scent. Yeah. Like if you're going out to like a lounge or something like that, you could wear this. To have a good time with friends. It's playful. It's warm, ambery. They have a really cool note called caramelized coffee in that one. Do you smell that? Do you smell the caramelized? Maybe. I don't know. You tell me. That's the fun thing about notes is secret as a marketer. Sometimes we smell something that no one else smells, but we'll write it down. What do you think? I smell a little bit, but I think I get more of like the lavender in this, like that aromatic. But it's in there. Caramelized coffee, y'all. We'll take it, caramelized coffee. Take it. So when you're traveling, you've mentioned that you bring candles with you. I do. We travel quite a bit for our NBA season, obviously. So we're in different hotels, different cities, different, everything. So for me to feel comfortable, being in these different cities, these different bedrooms, these different hotels, I bring something that reminds me of home. And my house always smells good, so I bring candles.
Oh, I love that.
So I'll go out. If it depends on how long the road trip is, I'll buy up to like 10 candles, stuff them in my bag, and then I'll light them when I get in the room because no one really likes a hotel room smell, regardless of how fancy the hotel is. Like it's just always that scent that knows that
It's
somebody
like
else, that someone else is there, and it bothers me. So for me, I bring essential oils and I bring candles.
I love that. I know you were born in Mount Vernon and then
lived
you
in
moved to
Connecticut.
Middletown.
Right.
And you moved with your mother and your sister. Do you have any scents, not necessarily perfume, that you can describe that kind of make you feel nostalgic for that time in your life?
Yeah. So when I moved to Connecticut, I would go to church every Sunday with my grandma. And the story will make sense in a minute. So this is where I learned more about scent too at a younger age. It's probably 8, 9, 10 years old. So my grandma would spray this perfume. It had like this little ball at the end. I can't remember what it's called.
Like, was it a puffy?
Yeah.
Like you squeeze it
and it
puff
comes
ball,
out.
it comes
Yeah,
out,
like
yeah.
the real classic older lady
Yeah.
perfume spray. And it's the worst smelling thing I've smelled in my entire life.
The OG.
And I remember as a kid, like when she would spray it, I would run out of the room. Like I don't want to smell this. And I remember one day I tried to hide it from her, and it didn't go well for me because we were late for church, and grandma doesn't like being late for church.
Grandmas do not like being late for church.
No, so I just always had a thing for smells is what I'm really getting to. What I'm alluding to here is that I've always had a thing for things that smell good or smell bad. Like it resonates with me. Like I'm telling you a story from 8, 9 years old.
And you remember it
And
vividly.
I remember it, yeah. Like I remember her spraying it and I'm like, I gotta get out of this room. I can't stay in here. I gotta go.
Leave.
We need to go in the car. So that's not something that's new for me. It's something that's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember.
Okay, so let's talk about another scent. This is probably the one that surprised us the most that you really love.
Why is
It's
that?
Versace Bright Crystal.
Mm,
That's a deep cut.
it is a deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Especially for an NBA player who's known for power, rebounding. Versace Bright Crystal is a really vibrant and sweet floral smell.
It matches my personality.
Yeah.
When I walk in a room, like, I'm smiling all the time. It's more of a softer feeling. So that's the softer side of, the fragrance that I enjoy.
It's a really joyful scent, and you could definitely feel that presence with you. It makes sense. Now that we've gotten to know you, it makes sense that you like such a joyful, uplifting scent.
Yeah, this is great.
There's a little muskiness in it
Yeah.
too. So it is
That's
for
why it was
everybody.
cool with it. Like it wasn't too sweet because
Yeah.
it had like that little musk in it at the end.
It's got the edge to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a little bit of an edge. What would you say you attribute your high performance in the game to? And what has allowed you to perform at such a high level for so many years?
Preparation is the reason why I've been able to stick around for so long. The things I do in the off season, the stuff that I do during the season, just the hours that I take on my body to keep it in tip-top shape is what attests to my success in the league and being able to, this is 13 years for me.
13 years.
Yeah, this is 13 seasons for me that I've done.
Wow.
And it's a blessing to be a part of this league for so long and still playing at a high level at that.
Right.
It's just the work. The work that I put in is really what keeps me around. Each and every day I'm doing something. If I'm not working out that day, I'm doing at least one thing for my body that day.
What are some examples of the things that you do for your body to, it could be grooming or any type of wellness rituals? I've heard you do yoga as well.
I do. Yeah. So I do Pilates, I do yoga. I take Epsom salt baths religiously.
Ooh.
I live in the tub, like in the cold tub. I live in there. It's a
like
bad
the
habit.
cold plunge tub?
Yeah, I do that, and I do the hot tub too. Like I'll do it with the Epsom salt bath.
Wow. Do you put essential oils in there too?
I do peppermint, lavender. Whatever I get my hands on that day, depending on my mood.
I know you're a huge champion for mental health. What would you say to men who still feel like there's a stigma around exploring therapy or seeking help to have a better experience, more mindful experience, and really focus on their mental health and wellness?
It's hard for men in itself to speak, and not even about their feelings, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that goes on in life, it's taught for men to just keep it in and figure it out later and deal with what's important first. And the suicide rate for men is pretty high, because of mental health. And it's a serious thing that I think needs to be vocalized more. And myself being somebody who has vocalized going through a mental break and having those moments where I'm not doing okay. Mm-hmm. I'm here to say today that it is okay to not be okay, that it will soon pass, that it's okay to ask for help, that you don't have to do it alone. And as men, we feel that asking for help is a sign of weakness. Mm. And it's a good and bad thing. It builds strength in men, but also builds that weakness too in the mind.
Right.
And it makes it hard to be vulnerable with friends, family, your partners, with anybody, because you have that mindset of just, I'm not really going to express how I feel. Maybe I don't want to look weak in front of this person. I don't want them to feel sorry for me. I'm a man. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm supposed to get through this one way or another.
Right.
And it shouldn't be like that. It should be a point where you can be vocal and express yourself or say, I need a moment. I'm not doing okay right now. I need to find a way to ground myself. Because I feel like for myself, like when I'm not doing the best, I'll make myself do more to avoid the thought process of what I'm going through. And that's how I help escape. But it also is draining me at the same time. I end up sleeping more. I sleep through my alarms.
Man.
I don't have the same energy or the same drive that I usually do throughout the day because I'm fighting demons, but also trying to bring joy into everybody else's life too, but not worrying about myself first. Mm-hmm. And I think as men, the sooner that we focus on ourselves just for a little bit, even if it's an hour of the day, to take to yourself and really process what's going on with you, it will do a great deal. And I know it's worked for me. I set out to, every morning I'll take an hour to myself. Like I'll be awake and I'll just lock myself in my room and just do whatever I want for an hour, whether it's lay there, play the game, call my kids, or literally just do nothing.
Take time for yourself.
Yeah. You have to find those windows, whether it's in the morning, the night, the afternoon, or right before bed. Take an hour. If an hour is too long, take 30 minutes. If 30 minutes too long, take 5 minutes. But take that time where you just put your phone down and just do what you want. Because you need that, whether you believe it or not. Sometimes I'll take 2.5 hour showers, just sit there.
Yep.
The 2.5 hours is a stretch, but I'll sit there for like an hour and just think about whatever and anything. Just because I have that time to do that. Because you got to think throughout the day as men or as people, we don't have that time to just do nothing.
You have to actively take the
actively
time.
Take that time to do it.
Absolutely. Especially today, like all the pinging noises that are going on our phone, our laptops. The world is moving so fast. It's overwhelming. So just taking like an active stance in taking time for yourself is really, really important. And I love that you do that and you're an advocate for that.
Definitely.
That's wonderful. So the last fragrance we'll smell before we'll get into some scented moments is Get a Room by Confessions of a Rebel. What are your first impressions in smelling it again?
I instantly started smiling because I remember when I smelled this, I'm like, this is good.
I think it's that crisp apple at the top.
Yeah, this is really good. And this is the one that made me want to start my own line, essentially. Like I want to start mine at some point in time. I knew it was a Scentbird brand, so I'm like, damn, if they have that, maybe I can make my own scent with them one day too.
So next, I want to talk more about it. You hinted about this earlier, is the fragrance Bungalow by Andre Drummond that you made in collaboration with Drift, another friend of Scentbird. So this is Bungalow by Drift.
Yes, indeed. That's good.
You have said specifically about this scent, you have a deep love for Florida, where we're filming today. So you wanted to capture the feeling of relaxing in your backyard during the summer with your family.
Absolutely.
And you went on to say, because I travel so much, making any location feel like home is important. And you hope Bungalow helps inject wellness into people's drives.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your experience in creating Bungalow with Drift.
It's funny because as we were just talking about why I bring candles everywhere, it's like I like to bring a scent of home everywhere with me. So when I got the opportunity to make this, I jumped right on it. So I'm like, okay, I'm Jamaican. My backyard has coconuts.
Wow.
So I mean, I have my kids too that come by that enjoy them very much, and mangoes too. And obviously I live in Florida, so I'm like, why not make something that everybody loves? Everybody loves mangoes. Everybody loves Florida. Everybody loves the scent of something that reminds them of summertime, like a summertime fun time.
Yes.
And Bungalow was a no-brainer. I didn't come up with the name. The name was crazy. And when I heard the name, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect. It's a great name. And they gave me, maybe 3 or 4 different versions of the coconut scent. And I think I picked option B or option A. I can't quite remember, but they all smelled amazing. We could have went with either one of them, to be honest. But this was the one that really resonated with me the most, because once I smelled it, I looked around the room. I was like, yeah, this is it.
Yes.
Like the other 2 smell good, but like this is the one that really stood out to me the most.
It took you to your home, to your backyard.
It took me to my backyard. Exactly that.
Smells like a win.
Every time. Every time.
So in our Scent Connection segment, I'm going to share a breakthrough moment from your career.
Okay.
And I want you to dig deep and think about how it would smell. Like if you could bottle up the emotion that you experienced at the time. Are you ready?
Deal.
All right. So your NBA draft selection in 2012, take us back to when you were drafted 9th overall by the Detroit Pistons. Go Pistons.
Yes, indeed.
Marking the beginning of your professional basketball career after your time at UConn.
The Detroit Pistons select Andre Drummond from the University of Connecticut.
This scent would be more of the airier scent, the more like fluorescent scent, because it's more of a breakthrough moment. Like it's more of that like the lights are coming out, and it's a huge moment, and you want that moment to be something that's very grand and more of a sweeter smell too, because it's a sweet moment. It's a cool moment. So definitely something along those lines. And just remembering that moment in itself, I just remember the joy that I had. So something that brings you joy.
Yeah, something uplifting.
Of course.
Encouraging, exciting.
Yeah.
Who are you with when you were drafted?
I was with my mom, my sister, my agent, my uncle, both of my uncles. And yeah, that was it. We had a small table. It was just us there, just waiting for that special moment. And when pick 9 came around and Detroit picked me, I just remember like everything was still. Like I feel like I was the only person in the room walking up to that stage.
Wow.
And it's just a moment you don't ever forget. Like I get chills every time I tell the story and I think about it, because that's one of the biggest moments of my life.
I love that. That's awesome. And thank you for your time as a Piston, as that's my favorite team. I grew up 15 minutes from the Palace, from where you stayed. So yes.
Love
big
Detroit.
Time. Best thing never happened to us.
I love you
in
guys.
recent years. Sorry, bad boys. No disrespect. So the next, I want to hear how you would bottle that emotion or feeling for is your first All-Star selection. I believe that was 2016,
right?
Yeah,
2016, yeah.
Take us back to that moment, and how would you describe that if it were a scent?
Going back to that moment, I knew I was going to get it that year. Just by the way I started off that season. I think I started like the first 4 games with 20 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a historic
insane.
Historic moment. Yeah, I set out for a mission that year, because I feel like now was the time. Like if there's a time to do it, it's right now.
Mm-hmm.
And starting off those games like that and having like I think we played pretty well throughout that first 2 months up until January. Things kind of slid a little bit, so I was nervous in that sense. And once February came around, I got selected, and it happened to be Kobe's last All-Star game.
Wow.
Rest in peace to the Mamba. It's his last All-Star game, and that meant more to me than even getting the All-Star jersey or anything like that. Like being on the same floor as Kobe Bryant was the craziest feeling in the world. Knowing that it was his last time stepping on this floor, knowing all the things that he's done for this league, his legacy, and I was a part of it.
Yes.
And I get to share those stories with my kids, my family, and not too many people get to really have that type of access to that guy's world. And to have a personal relationship with him too on top of that was, a dime a dozen, man. Rest his soul. And just the feeling and the scent that I would bottle that up with. What's the light blue one called again?
This light blue one. This one is Leighton.
Yeah, Leighton.
Yes, you describe this as powerful.
I would use that one. I would use that one for sure. Just because it has a little bit of everything. It has that powerful scent, but also that joyful scent with it as well too. That clean and free flowing. Like everything just felt free flowing that day. Like everything felt like everything was going right that day.
Okay. So I want to talk about another pivotal moment that same year, 2016, when you had a career high 33 points.
Hitting a career high comes with two things. One, you get that instant high of joy and excitement, and then you get that hunger of wanting to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that drive, that like thrill. Like it becomes an adrenaline rush. Like once you do it once, like, all right, how do I beat that? How do I do better than this next time? So the moment never lasts for too long because once the game's over, you play again in 24 to 48 hours. So you don't really get to celebrate it as much unless it's like a game winner or something crazy. But with those kind of stats, it was crazy. 33 and 20 is a huge gain.
Yes.
And a win on top of that. That was actually against Utah.
Oh, the Jazz.
Mm-hmm. And that game is a personal game because I always try to take it to Rudy Gobert. Always. I mean, there's nothing against him, but, he's one of the top bigs in the league. So I got to show him that,
yes,
that shit ain't flying here.
No, not here.
Love Rudy, though. Love Rudy to death. Great guy. But definitely, I'm a competitor. I don't care who it is. I'm going to come after you.
Well, I'm curious, what keeps you motivated? Because it seems like you've had so many highs in your career and you keep rising to the occasion and, getting to new heights in your career. So what keeps you motivated?
It's the adrenaline rush, like I told you. Like once you get a taste of success and you know what it feels like to have success, you strive for that. And you try to find it any way possible. And for me, it's outbeating my opponent and finding my ways to make my team be good and be the best teammate I can be. Because I love playing the game. Like that's one thing that doesn't change. I enjoy playing. I really love playing the game. So that's where the joy comes from, where I'm always smiling when I play. It looks like I'm having a blast when I play basketball because I really, truly am.
Right.
Regardless of the scoreboard. Like I just love to play that much that it doesn't matter what it looks like. And sometimes, it gets looked at as bad because I'm always smiling like, oh, you need to be more serious. But for what? I enjoy the game. I'm not taking away from anybody's job. I'm bringing joy to my locker room. I'm bringing positivity. So I just try to smile my way through anything.
It's called a game for a reason, right?
You're right. It's a kid's game at the end of the day.
Yeah. So going back to that moment with your 33-point game, what would that smell like to you?
What would that smell like?
If you could bottle up the joy and the determination.
I want that room. I want that to stay in the room. Definitely want that to be a strong scent. Definitely another powerful scent, something that stays in the room. Like, that my work here was felt.
Yes.
It
leaves that trail.
Yeah, that trail. Like, damn, every time I smell it, I know, Andre was around.
Andre's been here. He's left it here.
He's been in this vicinity. Where is he?
He left it all on the floor. The last moment, which is really, really crazy and quite recent, actually, as last year in our Scent Connection, is you hitting 10,000 career rebounds, making you arguably the best rebounder to ever do it.
He put a Moses Malone. Congratulations
Big Cat.
Andre Drummond. He has become the 43rd player in NBA history with 10,000 rebounds.
This is hard work right here. Hard hat, lunch pail, punching the clock. Big Cat.
I remember that moment vividly because I remember the week before our staff was telling like, hey, you're like 50 or something away from reaching 10K. So we would make a bet. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it in like 2 or 3 games.
What?
So
you set the craziest goals for yourself and achieve them.
I try. At least try to or I try to get it somehow. But yeah, this one I got anyways. And so I set out to do it in the next 2 to 3 games. And I remember, I think I missed a layup. And I remember them telling me I had to get like 3 more. So I missed on purpose and tipped it back in and get the
by any means necessary.
Yeah, by any means necessary. I missed on purpose, tipped it in, and I got the 10,000. And I remember I got like a huge standing ovation. They stopped the game and everything just to announce that. And
I watched that game.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's wonderful. It's monumental.
I appreciate it. Just having all eyes on me at that point in time was a crazy feeling. If I could bottle that into a scent that would bleed out, probably the African scent for sure.
Ooh, African Rooibos by Chris Collins.
Definitely would use that for sure because like that's such a powerful, powerful scent that, represents strength, achievement, and represents excellence.
Yes, top tier.
Yeah.
I love
Someone
it.
gets it.
That's wonderful. So we're going to wrap today with a final question. With all of these wonderful things that you've done in your career, what would you say you want your legacy to be?
My legacy, the Andre Drummond legacy, I want to be known as a guy that, put others before himself. And I think I live by that. If I can help somebody, I'll do it.
Yeah.
If it could be obtained, I just try to help the best way I can or show them how to do it. I want to be known as somebody that gives back to the community, someone who is the leader and the voice for my community, no matter what avenue of life you come from. I just want to be that guy that can show you that you can do it. I've defied all odds, and there's no reason why the next person can't do it.
Preach.
And it's okay to be different.
Yeah.
It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to not be happy. It's okay to be happy. But it's okay to feel. And I want to be the person that vocalizes that, to never shy away from what you really feel.
I love that. That's so wonderful to hear coming from someone who's been so successful in their career at the highest level of the game.
For sure.
Thank you so much for coming today and chatting with me.
Of course. It's amazing.
Woo!